Hi, this is Tony Davis from See You There Promotions, talking to Henrik Steenholdt and Did Coles of the band Empyre, who are due to come to see us in Hastings on the 16th of December. Good afternoon, guys. How are you?
Hey, Tony.
Afternoon, Tony. We're good. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Empyre's 2023 has been a bit of a big year. I know you try and make every year a big year, but this one's been really special, I think, hasn't it?
I think we're pretty happy with the album that we released back in March. It seems a long time ago now, but I'm trying to compare it to when we released Self-Aware, which also felt like a big achievement. But I think we're extra happy with Relentless and how that came out. I am.
Yeah. No. I'd certainly agree. I mean, I also really enjoyed the release of the other side, which our acoustic side, and doing all the arrangements for that album as well. And I think doing Relentless now, our second electric album, is going to open up people to those albums. But yes, talking about Relentless, we've done okay, I think.
Yeah. We made the transition to some extent to doing some headline gigs. We haven't really done them before this year, so that was again around the time of the album release. We'd done maybe one or two hometown headline gigs before, and that's how we started this year. But to do that and to sell out our listening party at the cinema, to sell out or at least get into the big room at KK's and sell out a couple of other gigs, that's been a big step up for us.
And you can get good. Sorry, Tony.
No, go on, carry on.
Can get other good feedback based on album release if people then go out and get tattoos of the tracks on their bodies that last forever, and they don't get them removed, because they can't be unless they get electric laser removal. Which
that's it. They're
that's a good sign. An album's doing well.
Empired forever. But I was at KK's in the big room for the release party of the album, and myself and my friend that went just thought it was a night where everything just came together so perfectly. It was the right venue, the right bands, the right crowd, and just you guys just seemed to be right on top of it that night.
I'd agree in terms of it was the right venue, and that's why we chose KK's. But until I think it was the Wednesday before the Saturday that we played, until that point, we were in the bar room, basically. That's how late the ticket sales were to push us above the barroom cap sufficiently enough to make sure that we got into the big room. But I kind of had it planned, whilst the next 2 days after that I scrabbled around making sure we got all of the stuff on the video for the backdrop for that 10-meter video wall, so we could build the set and run any of the videos we had as best we could, timed with what we were playing at the time. But I think we all felt that I remember walking into that room on that day and see what they'd done in terms of curtaining it off, and it felt like it was the right size for our gig. I can't remember how many we got there in the end, but I mean, it felt like there were almost 300 people in that room, but I think it was probably closer to about 240 or so.
But it felt really good in there that night.
It was just great. Yeah, it was really good.
What's really cool about it as well is that with 300 people, or whether it's like a lot more, we were fortunate enough to play like Steelhouse this year, which has thousands of people attending. What's really cool about our gigs is that the audience, no matter the amount of members, they're really attentive. It's mainly because they're not enjoying themselves.
Did you mean abusive?
No,
because they're also that.
So rude. They're not enjoying themselves, so they just sit there,
stand there,
which is good. It's no pressure for us because we like playing music.
And
we could just play.
We'll just play to anybody.
Yeah, I think I say at gigs now. It's just what was one of the things I said recently? It's just like thanks, Henrik. No, I say thanks everybody for turning up, and mainly Henrik and Grant and Elliot, not you guys, the audience. But
and of course, at KK's as well. You got to sit in an armchair, didn't you? Which was quite exciting for you, I think.
Did you say something about cocaine?
No. KK's.
All right, okay.
And the armchair, keyboards in the armchair.
Yeah, that was just completely coincidence. So the piano story for that gig is that social media, someone made one comment about you're gonna bring the piano to the gig, and I was like, well, now I am, aren't I?
Yeah.
So I took the 88 stage grand key piano to play one song, and it went down well. But there was a throne there for me.
I noticed that. Yeah.
which was really not the person in the band. You know, Henrik is the kind of throne guy that would fit that kind of image. I'm more of a stool kind of person. But it looked good.
Okay,
it was just it was lucky that I think it was either on the stage when we got there or just off the stage. And I don't think you had a chair for your piano that evening. We were hoping to find one there, and it would just happen to be there. It was
there it was, just lo and behold, yeah.
Perfect, luxurious little armchair that was just the right height for his piano, and it looked great on stage, didn't it? Just sitting there by itself.
Absolutely wonderful.
But
then, of course, there was the
clarify that.
Sorry, go
Tony, just to clarify the sarcasm for all your listeners that have never heard of us and are probably already being discouraged from checking out anything Empyre related just by our general conversation. We want people to have a good time, want people to enjoy our music. Henrik's an exception. Henrik's a good singer. So he's worth definitely listening to. And I'm I'm an okay songwriter and guitarist. It's worth listening to our music. We just take. Can I swear a bit?
Yeah.
We take the piss a bit. We take the piss a bit. So just like
if you have a very self-deprecating sense of humor, don't you?
We do like to take the mickey out of our perceived seriousness. We take what we do very, very seriously. Yeah. And then we sometimes take that onto stage and exaggerate that into a sort of pantomime villain status.
Yeah.
But we also like to take the mickey out of ourselves for doing that. And it's really nice when the audience interact with that and get on board and then start heckling, booing, cheering, shouting, football chants or whatever. Yeah. Not everybody wants to do that, but it's like if you want to clap and cheer and show that sort of side of having a good time, we welcome that. And of course, we really appreciate all the applause.
Absolutely.
But also if people want to kind of get involved, so it's almost more like not a stand-up comedy evening, but that kind of like, we're open to heckles if you want to have a go. Yeah, it's fun.
And of course you've got a real hardcore of fans now who understand that and really interact with that band to quite strongly sometimes. I've heard remarks coming from the audience.
Yeah, and it definitely can confuse people as well. There was somebody at Steenholdt who was right at the front at the end of the ego ramp, and they were booing, and they almost got a slap in the face from the woman standing next to them until they had to explain. It's like, whoa, no. They appreciate this sort of booing, this reaction.
And at KK's as well, the same thing happened. There was a guy standing to the right of me, an American dude. And he came out and goes, "Man, I just don't get it. Everyone's booing there. I was speaking to them. What's this about?" And then I worked it out. Sarcasm. But it took a whole gig for him to kind of he loved it. He got it straight away. So it's pretty evident, straight away that we're not doing it all with sincerity.
Okay, so you've done lots of festivals this year as well, haven't you? You've been I mean, I've not managed to catch you at a festival yet, but I know that you've done a few during the course of the year, and they're always quite exciting events, aren't they? Festivals.
Yeah, we did Love Rocks. That was great. That was a really nice hot day down south. That's a great festival that we've been there a couple of times. We did Steenholdt, as did mention, that was the biggest festival that we did, and that it rained a lot, but that kind of really suited. We managed to play into that with our vibe.
Yeah, it suits the mood.
It was the ice with the audience a lot easier when it's like that.
It was great because we could just make a joke about bringing our own little black rain cloud to
there it is, just hanging up there somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's always great during something like Only Way Out when it's just pissing down with rain. It just suits the song. So
but then the other time we played Steenholdt, like the sun came out for Waking Light.
That's true. It did happen. Cool. Yeah, that was the first time.
Completely random, like the stars aligned or whatever.
Yeah. I can remember Henrik saying that that you were really shocked one day when you looked out into the audience and people were actually singing the lyrics back at you.
Yeah, I try not to look at anybody who's singing because it's still a little bit. I
wasn't shocked. They're great. They're great lyrics. So
it's sort of like disconcerting, or it kind of just throws me.
Yeah.
Because you get some people who really know the lyrics, and you get some people who know enough of the lyrics to sort of join in, But then if I catch their eye, they will stop singing, which really and then throws me. So
Or
I try not
alternatively,
to
they'll
look at
sing
anybody.
or alternatively, they'll sing the wrong word and you'll follow them.
Well, yeah, that happened once. The first time I ever saw anybody singing along to an Empire song was Something Remains, and a guy called Peter Carroll, who we know now. But I looked out and I saw him singing along, and I then fluffed the lyrics because I was like, "What? Someone knows the lyrics to this?"
It is
It's
like
quite weird.
It's really nice. It's cool.
I mean, for me, one of the things that I really enjoyed this year was the listening party in Northampton. I thought that was a very interesting experience. I'd never been to them before, but that wasn't how I imagined a listening party usually is. But I found it really, really interesting to be able to hear you guys talk quite personally, you know, and to a small audience about how the songs had developed and that sort of thing. Was
Thank
that an
you.
event that you really enjoyed?
I think that is definitely in my top 5, possibly my top 3, I mean, possibly even my top 1 event of this year. That was something I really enjoyed. And I don't know what a listening party normally involves because I don't think I've ever been to one, but it was just the case that somebody last year said they couldn't get to one of our gigs. I think it was one of the acoustic gigs because they were off to see the Alter Bridge list. They would go to the Alter Bridge listening party for their last album. And that had been moved due to a hurricane or something. So that interfered with their plans for a gig over here, but they weren't going to go and lose all that cash. So I was like, oh, fair enough. And I just like, listening party. And I think that must have been last September time. I think I was talking to them at the last NWOCR event at KK's, or the first one. So that just got my brain going. And there's, as you know, Tony, there's a really nice little cinema here in Northampton, as you found out.
Yeah.
And again, we thought, well, what can we do? We brainstormed it a little bit and got all the videos that we could. I made some more videos specifically for that, and then thought it'd be nice that not only would people get to hear the album for the first time in 5.1 surround sound. So I was going down to the cinema a bit, went down there about 4 times before we actually did it to get the sound right and to make sure everything was working. And then if we could do a Q&A with all the songs, the first time anybody's ever heard them, with visuals, but hopefully not try to make it not too intense on the visuals for the songs that people didn't know. So the ones that, like, for example, no one had heard Quiet Commotion before, and that was practically a static visual on screen, so people could embrace the music. Whereas we just showed the Relentless video because that had already been out for 5 months or 4 months or whatever it was. So people could just enjoy watching that in a cinematic experience. But I would definitely do that again.
And credit to Henrik, because he organized 95% of that. I was busy having my nails done and haircut, but I did answer some fantastic questions on the day.
You did, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I encouraged. No, that's what I did. Yeah, and then we played a good gig. But no, I'm just complimenting Henrik on it. Was a lot to put together.
Thank you.
And I have actually experience of listening parties coming from the country music world and acoustic guitar world, and they can be as small as, you know, an album release party with, you know, 7 people hearing stripped down versions of album tracks before, and then Q&A afterwards in a nice, like, kind of coffee shop. So but with what Henrik put together, it was kind of like up a few levels, you know, getting a cinema, and it was kind of like the thing that much bigger bands would do or not do. So it's something really proud that we could be part of that. And then also on the same day, we did a headline show at a sold out venue in Northampton, which was great. And so I'm glad you had a good time, Tony. I did too.
I did. Yeah, I mean, it was a good day, and I'm really lucky because I've got a friend who lives in Northampton, so I've always got a bed to leap into after when I come and see you.
That is convenient.
Yeah, that's good.
It is.
What are the chances? That's just, but that's why how it's come about. I guess you come to see us so many times. Thank you very much for that as well.
Because it's nice and easy. Although when coming on to some of the acoustic stuff that you've done in Kettering, I actually drove to Kettering and back in a night to see it.
Sounds like one of our gigs.
Yeah. Be like your gig in Hastings, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, go to Hastings and drive back and stay in Edinburgh, even though we live in Northampton.
Yeah,
we have actually driven to Edinburgh one day and driven back the same night.
And that gig had about like 25 people there, which is a good turnout for us.
that is harsh.
Yeah.
So
Good times.
the acoustic side, you touched on how proud you were of the other side and how much you enjoyed working on that, and the extension of that has been sort of the church gigs, hasn't it? You've done a couple of church gigs in Kettering. I think 3 now, I think, isn't it?
I think it's 4 in total, but one of them was a little while ago. But yeah, 3 in the last 2 years. I think it's 3 in the last 2 years.
Yeah. I certainly, I know I've been to 3. I might have been to 4, but there we go. But how do you feel about that sort of environment? Because it seems it works really, really well for those songs. I think it, and certainly it suits your vocal range, Henrik, particularly when you get that sort of the only way out, and that's always a shivers down the back moment normally, but in a church even more so.
Well, I do enjoy a bit of extra reverb on my voice, and you get I put quite a lot of it on at any gig anyway. But
with the acoustics, with the acoustic stuff, I think me and Henrik met under acoustic conditions. We for years and years played acoustic guitars, and we actually started songwriting acoustically. Now, as an electric rock band, that's absolutely fantastic. With acoustic, the other side of it is you are more exposed. You are more exposed to mistakes and discrepancies and things. His vocal is, but so it's more of a risk, everything. So like you've been in the church, like if you've got loud guitars and loud drums and everything, there's there's plenty to hide behind. But with acoustic, there's really nothing, so like I'm apprehensive about certain songs. So like with the piano stuff, it's just like, oh shit. But generally they go really well. But it's a great experience. There's a whole other, side to us that we get to present, which we think actually we're quite unique with. We don't see too many other bands doing like the acoustic thing that we do to like album level, produced level, doing regular live in a church, incorporating a stage piano rock format. We're always aspiring to sound bigger than we are, and just like to blow my own trumpet a little bit, because I complimented you on your cinema thing. When we were doing the other side, if anyone wants to check that album out, that is a whole album of completely rearranged. Some tracks are just acoustic, but most of it, I took an approach of rearranging electric songs so it fit into a different genre, different category, and that's what you see at the church and everything. So some bands, will just take a song and strum a few chords acoustically. No discredit to them, it's just what some of them do. We do things slightly differently, and then the song transforms into something else, and you're going to have a little bit more of that next year in a completely different way again.
Okay,
I'm not going to tell you anything about that.
No, that'll be interesting. We'll look out for that. But
basically, we love the acoustic stuff.
Yeah, and interestingly, you just touched on what was going to be my next point there, because I don't know whether I've mentioned this to you. I certainly put it in an online review on occasions that I've seen you acoustically. But you're right, lots of bands, they just swap the electric guitars for acoustic guitars, and that's it. But there's a reinterpretation of your songs. It's a different album. It's not just those songs played with acoustic guitars. It's a reinterpretation.
Exactly.
And
I think there's always room with a song to explore it more. Plenty of people do covers. Some people change them, and that's something that I think Did and I grew from. We started out in the covers band, and we started out by taking other people's songs and then doing our own version.
Well, I was surprised.
Some of them we would play completely straight, and some of them we would just change completely. Hence why something like Titanium came around, because we took a track that had a female singer that was a pop track or a dance track or whatever you want to call it, and let's turn this into initially that was an acoustic rock version we did, and then we took it to the full band. So we just like playing with the songs, and we still like playing with some of our old songs.
It's fun to do it.
I remember the first time I saw you. You probably don't remember it, but it was in the garden at the Black Prince, just after lockdown, after we were all allowed to go out again. And you did a version. I think you did an acoustic version of Hotel California. And I was, oh, that surprised me because I hadn't expected that to come. So.
Yeah, we played that before an Eagles gig as well, actually.
At Arena Birmingham before the Eagles, we did Hotel California.
Yeah,
Did was like, let's play it, and I was like, no, let's not play it. And he was like, let's play it.
Let me handle this.
I think as he said, trust me or let me handle this. I was like, oh god, and it went down really well.
They loved it. All the Eagles fans really.
Who would have guessed that they liked Hotel California?
Who'd have guessed? Yeah, who'd have guessed? So, on to Relentless, and you've just won an award for it. I see you've been nominated for or won a Best Album award.
Your fellow DJ Guy Bellamy of Great Music Stories was kind enough to give us Album of the Year, which and the response to that has been great. So many people sharing the same thoughts, and then came out about the same time as the Spotify Wrapped, and so many people from that also saying, "Oh, you're in the top artist or the top 5 artists." So it's been a really nice past couple of weeks when, from 2 different places, the Spotify and also the Great Music Stories, and guys known us for years and years, that we get that kind of accolade for an album that we're really proud of, and then everybody on top congratulating us as well, and sort of reinforcing that, which has been brilliant.
Especially because like someone like that and someone like yourself is listening to music every day, all year round, new albums, hear this song, and it's just like you're hearing so much great music all year round, and to top the bill out of all of that with a general consensus about something that me and Henrik really didn't try hard at to write. It just came out completely naturally.
Of course,
using orchestral instruments and samples and just like fantastic lyrics. It's a walk in the park. And then for that to come top out of everything is just like, I think what we're going to do for the next album, we're going to try.
Oh, really? Oh, my word. Oh, that's.
Sometimes we think we try too hard, actually, but no, it is on a serious note.
No,
it is really warming, and just that it's actually like enhancing people's lives. People love it. They do, and that's a great feeling.
Well, in my own little way, my 1066 sound yesterday, I published my sort of tracks of the year and my albums of the year, and you were top of my albums of the year, which you would have expected.
Thank you. Like that is but there's a prime example. You're doing it, for the past 12 months. You're listening to new stuff, old stuff, and that's really, really, that means a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome. You have a place in my heart. Somebody says to me, "Why Empyre?" And I really can't answer it, because sometimes you just get a relationship with an artist's music that you just get it, and that's it, really.
So we've got to get our music to like Megan Fox, Avril Lavigne, Gillian Anderson for me, then, and hopefully. Sorry, I'll shut up now. Henrik, take over.
No, I'm just going to let you dig a hole. That's
I think he's managed.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got you coming to see us in Hastings next week, a week on Saturday. Long trek for you. You don't come south very often, do you?
We've been to Brighton, which is close by to you.
Yeah, that's you were Pattons there, weren't you?
We were the other side of London recently, which was fairly south. We've been to Kent before.
Been to Leo's. Yeah, I think this is.
It's been a while since we've been properly down on the south coast, so it's going to be good. And we've never been to Hastings. This is the first time we've been to Hastings. First time to Blackbox. So looking forward to that. Yeah,
and we're trying to build. We're trying to build something down here in Hastings, because back in the day we used to be on the circuit when we had a pier ballroom. Pier burnt down off the circuit, so we're trying to bring better music back to Hastings. It's sometimes an uphill struggle, but it's great to bring bands like you down here, new bands that people are suddenly starting to pick up on. I mean, I know you're not really that new in the terms of how long you've been together, but in the consciousness of some people, perhaps a new band. So,
we're certainly a new band in the consciousness of practically no one knows who we are. So we've still got another 7 billion people to attract. Yeah.
Well, True.
ambitious. I'd be happy at 100,000, but 7
Yeah, but
billion.
7 billion. Yeah, you might as well have a go.
That is my target audience.
Right, the planet Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, why not? Aim high. Aim high.
Yeah, have completely realistic expectations.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be your last gig of the year, isn't it? Or your last headline gig anyway.
Yeah, it's our last gig of the year. Yeah, we
Okay.
have no more after that. So yeah, we finished the year in Hastings
Oh,
on 16th
excellent.
of December. Yeah. Yep.
And I see that already stuff's coming into the diary for next year. I've seen that there's another Black Prince gig next year.
Yep, for Independent Venue Week.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd get involved with that next year because the Black Prince, they're always pretty active when it comes to Independent Venue Week. And they asked if we wanted to do a gig. So we, yep, certainly would. So that is going to be our first hometown headline gig since March, I think.
Right.
I think so. Is it?
I think you're right. It was since the listening party, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did like a production day of the Black
Yeah.
Prince
So
and stuff, but we
yeah,
haven't
it'd be
played
good
that.
to be really good to go back there and do that over again. So far,
Glad-
tickets are selling well. So and then
Glad
2
to
days
s-
later, we're off to Winter's End.
Oh,
So
okay.
like if 7 billion people liked Empire, well, no, we tried to promote to 7 billion and only 1 billion liked us. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
I think
right.
most people can live with a listenership of 1 billion.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to
I'll
find
go and-
Henrik's cut off.
I'll go and
we'll
check
talk about
with
this
Tyler Swift.
afterwards.
Yeah, 1 billion. Yeah.
Tyler Swift.
Strangely enough, I was looking the other day at some figures on Spotify, and do you know that Sweet Home Alabama by Lynyrd Skynyrd has been streamed over 1 billion times on Spotify.
Oh, we used to play that one live, and then we used to do a mashup with All Summer Long because it's the same
Yeah.
chord progression.
You could throw Werewolves of London in with that as well.
Exactly, as well.
Yeah.
You can do it's the same chord progression.
Yeah.
God, I'm sad. Should we
Well,
talk
how about
something
me?
else?
I'm sitting
Something
here
full of
talking
football?
to you about it. Okay, so you sort of touched upon the next album. My guess is that you've probably not quite got to the stage yet of thinking about that because the work around Relentless has been pretty relentless so far this year. Anything in the works? Have you started working on songs and that at this stage or not?
There are various things in the works, but the next Electric album is not one of them at the moment.
Right.
We might start thinking about that and just sort of talking about it and what are we going to do come the new year. But for the moment, that's not really in the works. We have got some plans for next year, as did alluded to earlier, and again, not really anything that we can talk about at the moment. But
Yeah, I think, and there's like
expect the unexpected from us.
yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, expect the unexpected. Like there's twist with what we're doing, and I think now we're really proud of like we've got a body of work. We've got a collective body of work which includes music videos. We're on all streaming platforms, albums, vinyl, and there's so much acoustic, electric. Album of the year. You can go and listen to it and get used to that. Just you don't even have to listen to all of it. You have to listen to all of it. No, just listen to one or two tracks and see if you like what we're doing, and then jump on board the Empyre train because like there's going to be more stuff coming to you in the new year.
I think there's enough there to tempt people to come down to a gig, and that's what we're trying to do at the moment. As Did says, we've got the body of work. At Hastings, we'll be playing quite a lot of Relentless, as well as some of the songs from Self-Aware. So really, we still think there's plenty of what's the word? Basically, we can still go and perform. We've got that body of material to go and perform and do plenty of gigs with. As we're still constantly introducing people to Empyre because those 7 billion people don't know us. And really, it's only probably in the UK, I would guess, that 5,000 to 10,000 people who have really any idea who we are. So there's still a really big market, and Hastings is somewhere we've never been to use that example. So hopefully we can pull in some fans and or new fans rather, who can come experience us for the first time and then will want to come back
and bring
and
us
listen
the
to it. Yep.
person or tell. We find that that happens a lot, where people come to a gig and then they're recommended not to come to a gig. They tell other people about it, and or even just and that helps us grow and stuff. But I do think that's a selling point for us, that when you see us as a live band, we don't dance about and do handstands and do, you know, cartwheels or stuff like that. We could do, but we just kind of we're really in the moment, and it's about creating a massive, huge anthemic sound and just an experience. It's almost like an experience. It can be quite intense. It can be quite fun at times. It can be quite emotional. It can be quite boring. It's never boring, but
experience
it's an experience is a good word.
Yeah, and experience was the word that was going through my mind as you were talking there. You know, an evening out with Empyre is an experience. Well, look, guys, thanks very much for joining me today. I hope a lot more people are going to jump on the Empyre train in Hastings on Saturday. I'm really excited that you're coming to my hometown. I think, you know, the first time I met you, I said that I had ambitions to do that. So
you did.
Well done for making it happen.
Yeah. Thanks for making it happen. Thanks for inviting us. We can't wait. We look forward to it. Hopefully we can round off 2023 in style.
Okay. Well, guys, I'll see you a week on Saturday, and thanks for your time today.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, Tony. See you. Bye.
Bye.